super cold start in the old Forester STI Stormtrooper. I am off to go rescue my wife. It appears that Master Chief 4-wheel drive has broken down. She was supposed to come home last night. I probably look like rubbish. I just woke up. It is early as. All right, she was supposed to come home last night to see me in Magnus for the weekend, but she had some trouble, so I need to drop the pup off at the in-laws and head out to go see if I can't rescue my damsel in distress. We are, I think, just outside of Falkland. It is actually quite a beautiful morning. I have enjoyed ripping the Subaru. I don't have to drive to work. We have the bus right on my site, so the approaching a railroad crossing. Approaching a railroad crossing. The mundanity of a daily drive isn't something that I experience, so it's awesome that I get to hop in the Stormtrooper and rip to go and rescue my wife. But I just thought I'd have a moment reflecting with you guys how fun it is to yinz the STI over to Vernon. I do enjoy a B road, and the back way through Falkland is awesome. It's got the right amount of twisties and the right amount of passing lanes to be an enjoyable Saturday morning cruise. But I am gonna keep going. I just want to listen to my stereo. I spent almost $5,000, actually I think over $5,000 getting the stereo set up in here, and because YouTube is what it is, I don't want any strikes against me from anything else I've been blasting on this trip. But hey, I'll see you guys in Vernon. Cats and kittens. I was just having a thought. It's pretty ironic that I'm ripping the Subaru STI to go rescue a Hilux 1KD FTV diesel. Like EJ25, 1KD FTV. EJ25, 1KD FTV. It's hilarious. The Subaru's known for blowing heads and all the other drama associated with owning one of these beautiful girls is running like a... Oh shit, I don't have any wood. I am not going to make an asshole statement because I don't have any wood to knock on like I did with Master Chief 4-wheel drive. But it is pretty ironic that the Subaru is what's running and been so reliable for us. I just wanted to leave you guys with that thought. And we're just about into Vernon, so I can diagnose what's gone wrong with the truck. I hope it's just a solenoid or a sensor of some sort, but we'll see what it is when we get there. Well, here it sits. I wonder what the hell's wrong with it. I guess I need to figure out where the solenoid and stuff is, and probably get the keys and put on my coveralls, and yeah, let's get into it. All right, guys, talking to the wife and understanding some stuff about electrical systems and mechanics, I'm starting to think that maybe it's actually the alternator that's went. So to test that theory, what I'm going to do is throw some jumper leads from the Stormtrooper FSTI over to Master Chief 4-wheel drive and see if I can't boost the truck. If it like fires up, I know 100% that it is the alternator that is fried. We'll just quickly throw this together and see what it is. Don't mind my Toms, they're my driving shoes because we've got that twin disc clutch in the Forester, and my wife has got the seat rammed too far forward for me to get in because there's obviously something stupid behind it. All right, let's see here. And 3, 2, and it's the alternator. I have got a fried alternator. I wish that the tow truck driver from AMA would have had a brain in his head, and then I wouldn't have had to drive all the way, because I could have just boosted it and give it some more power, and then I would have seen my wife last night. But not everyone is mechanically inclined as I pretend to be. Now I need to go out and get alternator wherever it lives. I think that's him, or no, that's the water pump. I think it's down there. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm gonna have to look on the interweb and find out what's the alternator. I'm gonna have to tear it out, and we will replace it and get my wife back on the road. All right, guys, update. We are pulled over. I'm hood up on the Subaru, the EJ257, reliable as that alternator, making all the power for me and the Toyota. Old Master Chief 4-wheel drive has not been pulling its weight. With everything going on in life, what are you gonna do? I mean, it is what it is. So we made roughly 26.8 kilometers on what I would estimate as 15 to 20 minutes of charge. All right, I will see you at our next breakdown. All right, guys, last vlog kind of got midway, and then we dropped everything. Just being 100% honest. The alternator, that guy right down there, probably can't see him in the bottom. Chat, that is chat itself. Haven't had the finances to upgrade what's in there, and we don't want to rebuild that one. We just feel like that's money getting flushed down the toilet. It's only an 80 amp alternator, and when you're idling, I think it only makes 30 amps, which is like nothing. So there is a company in Santa Monica, I forget their exact name. I'm in the garage, I don't have access to my phone because I'm in my coveralls. But I'll get Sydney to drop their details in the description of this vlog. They have 4 levels of alternator. All of them are more than 200 amps, which is unreal. I have the grill torn off. I am going to be upgrading to LED bulbs. On both our vehicles, there was a sale, and then I got a bit of a deal because I know the one guy at Lordco. We'll swap these over to these new Phillips LED bulbs. Pretty excited. Hopefully it's plug and play just like they state on the box, and everything goes in smoothly. But got the grill ripped off, gonna pull out both headlights so I can get at the back of the housing and pull out the halogens that are in there. They are tired. Same thing goes for the Subaru, all kinds of poor visibility situations we're noticing with that car. It's almost as if that's the original set of bulbs that were in there. Now, I have also yanked out the filler for the windshield washer fluid, and I think I am going to take the rest of the bolts out for this headlight and start on that one, get both these housings opened up, and then I'll check back in with you guys. So this is where we're at. We aren't gonna replace the alternator yet because $1,500 is a lot to swallow at the moment. And we'll just do a quick oil change the bulbs, and I guess we'll be parking it with the trickle charger running on it in place of the alternator charging the batteries. I'll just keep driving it. I don't have to do anything other than go out and get groceries every week. The wife can keep Forester. She has to commute for work. But yeah, I'm gonna rip a whole bunch more of this apart, and I'll check back in with you guys when that's done. All right, host note, exercise a little bit more patience when you're in behind the light mucking around. There was this little metal tab. I couldn't find it with my finger that you push in, and that's what secures the bulb in place. I like spent 5 minutes. I couldn't figure it out. I started taking the light out, and then I like looked down and I saw a piece of shiny metal, push that little tab in, and out popped the bulb. So I'm gonna put my screws and bolts back into the headlight assembly. I am definitely gonna have to remove the battery I was mocking up out of there, and then I probably will have to remove this shroud, and then I'll be able to access the other one. But the Phillips kit is pretty cool. It has this little ballast that you plug the light into, screw the little boot. This little boot slides down, screw that to tighten up your connection, and then you just plug that into your vehicle. It is as simple as that. This should fit in my housing. I have room in behind it. I might have to modify this if I don't have clearance, because these bulbs are way longer. I mean, look at that. That's probably another 20 mils longer housing, plus this cable sticks out straight out the back instead of dropping down. So hopefully we have the clearance here, but if not, I'll just trim this shroud here. All right, I'm gonna get this first bulb in, and then we'll do a light comparison and see actually how much more light these generate. So a cooler head has prevailed. I've figured out how to get this on. This is just a heat sink that screws onto the back of the housing. So I can install this, get it clipped in, then I can install the housing, then I can install the heat sink, then I can install the LED ballast for it. Boom! We took maybe 10 minutes to just breathe, slow down, and assess the situation in front of us, and we've come up with a solution that will work for Master Chief 4-wheel drive. So I guess now I will get everything installed on the driver's side, and we can do a old crusty halogen versus brand new flash Phillips LED side-by-side comparison. One more thing, actually, all the noise in the background has been Magnus totally destroying cardboard. Yeah, this is like his, I guess, like me time. He likes to just destroy things and eat little bits of cardboard. I mean, way cheaper than having a bunch of toys for him. So overall, it's not that bad, but it is a habit that the in-laws fostered in Magnus, I guess, and we're at their house right now, so they can clean up. Well, I don't know if the GoPro will do it justice, but that is beautiful and white, and that is like yellow and rubbish and not giving me much anything. Beautiful, crazy, nice white light. Those lenses do need to be cleaned. Rubbish halogen, crazy bright white, rubbish halogen. Overall, not too hard of an install. It is plug and play. I do need to, however, get some zip ties, and I want to keep this up high. So I'm probably gonna zip tie this into the battery post. And I don't want to conflict with where the windshield washer fluid filler neck goes. But maybe I'll actually zap tie this to the filler neck, and then I'll have it out of the way. Easy to check on it, and high and dry like we like it. All right, I'll pull the battery I have sitting in there out and start dismantling that so I can get the LED in over there. So on the 3rd generation Toyota Hilux Surf / 4Runner, installing Phillips LED HL H4s took me roughly 35 minutes once I had it figured out. They look awesome. They're so much brighter than the halogen. I can't wait to get out and see how they perform. I guess I'll clean up after my dog because he has destroyed the in-laws garage, get the grill put back in. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but it's happened on both of my cars. The clips, where are they? This little clip here and this little clip here are the only two I have. All the other clips are missing from my grill. Same thing on the Forester. I have like 2 out of 7 clips remaining. It's like when they come over and go through customs, they rip everything apart and then just forget to put the clips back in and leave it barely hanging on. I don't know if I'm the only one that experienced this, but I have 2 JDM vehicles and I don't know what gives. I don't know. All right, guys, I will catch up with you once we get into the oil change. Never done an oil change on this girl yet. I definitely want to swap the transmission and diff fluid as well, but that will happen after we get our alternator, because the headlights were safety first and LEDs draw less power. So that's kind of, you know, in the vein of maximizing what we can carry in that one battery's capacity. I am taking measurements so I can mount that second battery in where the ballast in my socket is sitting at the moment. But it'll probably take me 2 weeks to get something designed and get my print lined up in our print schedule. But I'll get into that at a later vlog. I'll actually take the measurements, draw up a battery plate that will fix in there, as well as I'm gonna do 2 new battery tie-down braces. I'll write Master Chief 4-wheel drive in one and the Gentleman Race in the other, or something like that. But yeah, that we'll talk about at a later date. I'm just gonna close all this up and wait for the wife to come back. I have the block draining and I realized I didn't have a crush washer for the oil change. There was like a weird paper residue on the oil drain plug, which makes me think that they used like a weird paper one when they did the oil change at Master Tune. But yeah, the wife is going to get me a new crush washer or a rubber O-ring. I am just about done draining the block. I have cracked the oil filter so that it can drain. Just make sure that it's not vapor locked, that it's got a little bit of air to draw from to let all the oil come out of the filter, so that when I fully unscrew it, I'm not making a huge mess in the in-laws garage. Yeah, she's broke loose for sure. All right, I will wait for the wife to return. I will throw my drain plug in and we will fill her up with Rotella T6 5W40 synthetic. I was recommended this oil. It is not CF2. I don't believe. Where is it on here? What's the API rating on this stuff? I'm having a blind man moment and I'm not seeing it. Oh, there we go. It's CJCICKCH4. I was told anything that is CJ4 will be fine for the 1KD FTV that's in this block. Manufacturer recommends 5W30. We're going with 5W40 because it is what is the fairest price for synthetic and the most readily available to me. You should always put oil in that meets your manufacturer specifications, which is 5W30 on this, and CF2 oil. This oil is actually of a higher grade than CF2, and we're going with 40 instead of 30 because, again, that is what I have available to me. I'm not too concerned that we're gonna blow this bad boy up. And if we do, hey, it's YouTube. Everybody loves some drama and we can just blame it on my poor oil selection. All right, guys, I'll see you when the wife is back and we can fire this thing up. We are putting in a Baldwin filter, a BD7029. Baldwin is like commercial vehicle filters, heavy duty. And I even like just picking these up, and you gotta think that this was full of oil, so all the paper element is holding oil. And this one is almost heavier, and it's dry. There's nothing in it. I just think that that speaks to the quality that Baldwin gives you. And, you know, like, I think we'll be using Baldwin filters on the bus if we can get them. And for the gen set that's in the bus, an oil change is coming up for that. I'll definitely be getting Baldwin filters if I can. They cost twice as much, but you can run them for twice. Like, you'll get 10,000 K out of this compared to that. So I've been told. Who has seen underneath of a Hilux Surf? It is a series of seriously serious skid plates. I don't know how well this is gonna come through, but everything has got a skid plate. It is unreal. Like, from frame rail to frame rail, underneath, all the way up here to the front. It's all skid plated out. which makes this a baby Land Cruiser where I come from, and that's why we got it. We absolutely love it, minus the alternator naturally. But yeah, I'm gonna throw this plug in and we will get filling. That's a 14 millimeter, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. 14 millimeter socket to pull your drain plug. A Baldwin BD7029 oil filter if you want that commercial life. Snug up this bolt. Snug, not tight. About 50 foot-pounds. I get out of a wrench that big. I actually know that because in my time as a oil field motorman, we used to have to torque stuff up to spec all the time. And we used to screw around, tighten it up by hand, and then check it with a torque wrench and see what we were able to get. And with that bad boy there, 3/8 drive ratchet, roughly 200 millimeters long, I get 50 foot-pounds of torque all day long. And I'm humble about it too. We are gonna try to run the Baldwin filter for 10,000 kilometers, changing the oil at 5,000, and see if the oil still looks sweet, and then that's what we'll be doing, continuing with Hilux. We'll change the oil every 5,000, change the filter every 10, and we'll see what kind of life we get out of this bad boy. I'll throw the drain plug in, and we will fill her up with 7.5 liters of oil, because that is what the internet says she takes when you change the filter. Just below the full line. I'll throw just a teeny tiny bit more in there, and then she's perfect. All right, guys. Well, I guess this kind of closes out what's going on with the truck. We have upgraded the headlights so that we can actually see what it is that we are doing. We have changed the oil and the filter. We have made you aware that we are upgrading the alternator to something a little more heavy duty so that